High, Texas lies in the western part of Blanco County along U.S. Route 290. Although High is unincorporated, it does have a post office and a zip code, named from Hiram High G. Brown, who settled the area with his parents in 1872. He constructed a small store and a house near the Pedernales River. Brown was appointed postmaster upon getting a post office established in his store on April 17, 1886. In 1965, on the porch of the High Post Office, Lyndon B. Johnson swore in Lawrence F. O'Brien as United States Postmaster General. In 1966, the High General Store and Post Office was designated a recorded Texas historic landmark, marker number 2607. Today we're at Garrison Brothers Distillery in High, Texas. Speaking with Mr. Dan Garrison here. They bought this land, 68-acre compound in 2003 and became legal in 2006. Dan, thank you so much for having us out, man.
My pleasure.
You bet, man. Go ahead and tell them, the whole story about Garrison Brothers Distillery.
Sure. I lost my job when I was 40 years old and kind of had to remake myself, and I decided to do something I loved, and there's nothing I love more than bourbon whiskey. I've been drinking bourbon since I was about 13 years old, and love the stuff, and I decided, you know what, I bet you if somebody can make good bourbon from Texas that's better than the stuff that's coming out of Kentucky, I'm going to have something pretty special. So I bought my first still in 2004, managed to experiment for 3 or 4 years while I was still under the radar. If anybody from the TABC is watching, the statute of limitations has run out on that. Got my federal permit in 2007, started making bourbon again, and sold my first bottles in 2010. And today, 15 years later, we are selling bourbon in 23 states across America and 6 foreign countries. And I think we're making the finest tasting, highest quality bourbon whiskey in the world. And I love what I do. I've got the greatest job on earth. I drink good bourbon with new friends every single day, so can't complain a bit about what I do.
Tell them about the compound here. You said it was 68 acres and how it's laid out.
Yeah, so we're down in what we call the hospitality area. We got a bunch of chairs, we got a couple of fire pits. You can roast s'mores over there in the wintertime. We got iced tea and lemonade in the summertime. And people just hang out here. We do tours Wednesday through Sunday at 10 o'clock, noon, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. And everybody just kind of brings out a picnic lunch on Saturday and Sunday and hangs out in this beautiful area, enjoying the views. And then we'll take them up the hill, give them about an hour-and-a-half tour of the distillery. About a half mile up the road is our still house, our cookhouse, where we make all the beer. The beer then ferments for 4 or 5 days and becomes higher proof beer, becomes about 15% alcohol by volume. Then we pump that beer over to the next building, which is called our still house, and that's where we have 4 stills. We have the Copper Cowgirl, which was my original still that I bought in 2004. We brought in reinforcements in 2010. One still is called Fat Man and one still is called Little Boy. Those are 500-gallon Vendome brass and copper work stills. And last year, in 2017, we decided that we still weren't making enough bourbon, so we brought in the big daddy of them all. It's a 2,000-gallon Vendome brass and copper works pot still. We call that one the Big Johnson, and he's been operating for about 3 months, and we're getting some really nice white dog off of that one that's going into these barrels.
That's awesome. Speaking of the barrels, I noticed you have a bunch of barrels here. I know that you season and you left your whiskey. I guess that's probably a misnomer, but how often do you use those barrels?
So if you're making bourbon whiskey, bourbon has to hold, it's held to a higher standard than other types of whiskeys. Whiskey is a broad umbrella category that describes any distilled spirit made from grain that is aged in a wood barrel. Bourbon has to use a new barrel every single time. Bourbon has to be made in America. Bourbon has to be at least 51% corn in your mash bill, which is the beer that you make, and then you extract the alcohol from that beer and it ages in a white American oak barrel. Our barrels are 15-gallon, 24-gallon, 27-gallon, 30-gallon, and 53-gallon barrels. We have about 12,000 on the property today that are filled with good bourbon whiskey, and those are going to age anywhere from 2 years to 7 years. When we decide that the bourbon inside is ready, we actually taste every barrel when it gets 4 years old, when it reaches its 4-year-old birthday, to decide which barrels we're going to marry together to create a small batch, or if one barrel is particularly interesting and unusual, we'll bottle that as single barrel bourbon. All the bottles that come out of this barrel, about 60 bottles, will all be from this one individual barrel. And then we also do Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon, which is the best we've got. It's the very best barrels from our barn. We also do a bourbon called Balmorhea, which is named after the state park in West Texas. And if you buy a bottle of Balmorhea, we're giving $5 to Texas Parks and Wildlife Foundation to help preserve and landscape Balmorhea far into the future. So
awesome.
That's Garrison Brothers. Good bourbon can change the world, and we're going to show people one bottle at a time.
That's great. You know, I was talking to some of your employees here, and I'm a little concerned about your business plan, and I'm sure that it's a deal to help these people because you're a graduate from University of Texas. Hook 'em, right?
Hook 'em.
And you've got a bunch of Aggies and Red Raiders working for you. I mean, I don't understand that. Are you just trying to educate them because
they got a long ways to go, but you know, we consider it social work. We're trying to educate them at the same time that they're doing their jobs, and they work hard. They do. All those Aggies and those Red Raiders, they work really hard, despite their intellectual dysfunction.
Well, I tell you, man, that's a great one thing about Texas. You know, we like helping each other, and I really I appreciate y'all doing that. You know, everybody needs the help.
Well, we've got good folks out here.
That's
Come
good.
visit us.
Yeah, folks, I'm telling you what, if you get a chance, you're down in the hill country, stop by High Texas, the Garrison Brothers Distillery, visit with Dan here, and remember now, good bourbon can change the world, and that's coming from a couple of Texans. Adios.
Bye-bye.
Hey y'all, it's Wendy Johnson with Drive Across Texas, and I'm here with one of my favorite people, Miss Nancy Russell, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she's been up to these days.
Wendy, it's good seeing you. I'm a real estate agent now with Keller Williams. If you're looking to buy a home, I can help you find a home. If you're trying to sell your home, I'll be more than happy to list it and take care of all your real estate needs.
So there you have it, folks. If you're looking for a good real estate agent, check out Miss Nancy.
An Old Memory, the critically acclaimed new tribute album from Dylan Scott, features 7 traditional country songs honoring one of his musical heroes, Keith Whitley.
When you say nothing at all,
The project includes Don't Close Your Eyes,
don't close your eyes, let it be me,
Between an Old Memory and Me,
an old memory,
and more. An Old Memory, the new album from Dylan Scott, available now on Amazon Music.
when you say nothing at all.
Granbury, Texas, founded in 1887, is the seat of Hood County. The bustling historic town started as a square and a log cabin courthouse. Many buildings around the square are historic landmarks boasting of the rich history in this area. The city was named after the Confederate General Hiram B. Granbury. When the Brazos River was dammed in 1969, forming Lake Granbury, city expansion began. The long, narrow lake which flows through the city brings visitors far and near to see this beautiful piece of Texas. Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Drive Across Texas. I'm your host, Pat Waters. Today we're in Granbury, Texas, and we're off the square at Bob's Off the Square Bar and Grill. Have the owner, one of the owners, Bob Stevenson here. So Bob, thank you so much for having us out.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. You know, tell the viewers out there a little bit about how this wonderful facility came about.
Okay, well, we're about a block off the square in Granbury, and we have 7 partners, equal partners in this, and we all used to frequent the saloon that I built in my backyard. And it's the little history there is that I moved here from overseas, and I was kind of an introvert my first 5 years, and I rented my house next door to me to a neighbor that worked for the city here for about 38 years. And all of a sudden he retired, and we started having all his friends coming over to see him all the time. So I decided that, hey, let's make a formal little place out here for us to relax and have a few beers. And well, that grew from just a few friends a week to anywhere from 20 to 30 people on a weekend. And there was just one weekend we were all sitting around talking, and one of our friends just said, "Hey, why don't you do this for real down off the square?" Because this town is yearning for that type of entertainment, because it's so relaxed, just very, very congenial as far as. Anyhow, that was well.
No, it's good. It's kind of like standing on your back porch, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's cool.
So anyhow, we sat around, we thought about it for no more than 3 minutes, and we said, heck yeah, we're going to do it. And from concept to actually opening our doors here, it was 4 months, which includes buying the building, the complete renovation, getting all the licenses, TABC and city inspections and everything, 4 months, which is just what we hear is just astronomical. So and here we are, and now we've got a thriving business 5 weeks into it, and we're having a hard time controlling the popularity of it, to be honest with you. So.
Man, that's awesome. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Now, tell me, at Bob's, if a couple, if a family comes out here, what can they expect? I mean, what do you provide as far as foods and drinks and all that?
Okay. Well, as far as foods go, we have bar foods. We have hamburgers, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, Irish nachos, fries. We're staying away from competing with our friends on the square, which you can get, typical various, meals. Okay, steaks, prime rib, those types of meals. So what we wanted to do is just give the group, our neighbors here, a bar food menu and reasonable price with reasonable drink prices. So that's what we're all about. That was our business plan, and one of the reasons I feel people would like to come here. And a matter of fact, they told me that was that I had a lady that was probably about 68, early 70s, and she said, "I love coming here because I can come here by myself and I know I'm going to see somebody I know." Okay, and to have a place like that where people feel safe and can come here and relax, that meant a lot to us. And the age range is just wild. It's just from the mid-20s, 30s, all the way to the late 70s. So we're blessed with having that type of customer base.
I see it right now. It's like a Texas version of Cheers.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that was actually mentioned in a newspaper article.
That's funny.
Yeah, and we even have a norm.
That's great. Now, something intrigues me. 7 partners. That's a lot of partners.
Yep.
Now, does each partner have their own little individual portion that they control the business?
Well, we've tried to divide it up to the skills. I mean, we have a builder that's a partner, and he actually managed the whole build out. I was more in the sales and service industry in the electronics business, so I handled most of the marketing. We have another person that was she's actually a flight attendant. That's a partner, and she's handling the also the Facebook and the advertising a little bit on that. Right. And then there's some other that invest their time here and help in the management. So, but overall, it's we're all equal, and we all have our little niches, and we seem to be very happy with the setup on that. So,
well, that's great. Well, I'm glad to hear that y'all are succeeding. Wish you continued success on your business.
Appreciate that.
Folks, I'm telling you, if you want to come to a place off the square in Granbury, Texas, and just feel like it's in your backyard, real homey atmosphere, be sure to check out Bob Off the Square Bar and Grill right here in Granbury, Texas. Bob, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate that.
Y'all remember now, the baby's coming from the Texan. Adios. Hey folks, welcome to Drive Across Texas Geocaching segment. Miss Wendy Johnson, Bad Waters. Hey, we're here in Waco, Texas. We're sitting outside. What is this one called?
It's called Christ Church Waco.
Okay, and it's off of, can we tell them the streets it's also of? 10th and Henderson?
Yeah, because they're going to be able to look that up.
10th and Henderson, Waco, you can look it up. But we've already found it. Not going to show you what it looks like, but some cool items. Miss Wendy found this poker chip in there. We don't know if this is a trackable or not, and So we're going to look at that afterwards. And tell them what a trackable is, Miss Wendy.
A trackable is actually something that you can look up the number and you can track its journey and see where it goes. We have a trackable that we found out in West Texas in White Flats, or just outside of that, and we've been carrying it around in different caches around Texas, and today we're going to drop it. So we're going to actually log this one that we dropped it here. It has a little Philadelphia tag on it. That's where it came from, and it's going to be traveling around Texas for a little while.
See, folks, there's some cool stuff, man. These things travel all over the world. We were up in Vegas. We did one of our first geocaches, and a couple came to one of the chapels and got married. Where were they from?
They were from London or something like that?
Yeah, like Paris, France, or London, overseas. It's pretty
overseas.
cool. So it's pretty neat to see these things move and just interesting. So y'all check it out. And remember now, baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
Now I feel so thankfully that you have been so good to me.
Hey folks, you eat yet? Or in other words, are you hungry? Sherry and Eddie Martin has just a place for you. The Courthouse Whistle Stop Cafe, located at 318 North Washington, downtown Livingston, Texas. The Courthouse Whistle Stop Cafe, serving the best breakfast and the finest in lunches. The Courthouse Whistle Stop Cafe, you can reach them at 936-327-3222. That's 936-327-3222. Like us on Facebook or catch us on the web, courthousewhistlestop.com.
Did you eat yet?
Welcome to Fairfield Marriott Decatur Conference Center, located at 1910 West US Highway 380 in Decatur, Texas. A lot of people don't realize this, but Highway 380 is actually a destination highway to multiple historic downtown Main Street cities, Decatur, Texas being one of them. Fairfield Marriott is a brand new hotel with 107 spacious rooms and suites. They offer a state-of-the-art fitness center, business center, pool, meeting space, free high-speed internet, and a free extensive breakfast buffet. As you can see, they're adjacent to the Decatur Conference Center. This 27,000 square foot full-service meeting facility is flexible enough to accommodate large events such as conventions and multi-day trade shows, as well as small corporate or specialized gatherings. Let them focus on the details while you focus on the results. Right en route, the North Texas Wine Trail, and just minutes from historical Decatur Town Square, you won't be disappointed with your stay at Fairfield Marriott Decatur Conference Center. So come eat, come play, come shop, come stay, Decatur.
Hey y'all, Pat Waters with Drive Across Texas. Hey, we're out in West Texas doing our Drive Across Texas. And between Anson, Texas and Glory, Texas, off of Highway 1661, we come across this old church and this old cemetery in a town called Tuxedo. It's a Fairview Cemetery and Church, and it was established in 1890. So that's the cool thing about Texas, folks. When you're driving across Texas, be sure to stop and check these old relics out, these old towns. It's unbelievable out here, and I definitely want you to see it with your eyes. Tuxedo, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all remember now, that baby's coming from a Texan. Adios.
Welcome to Tamales Mexican Restaurant. Our chefs are here every day at 8 a.m. preparing the freshest chips, guacamole, and pico de gallo from scratch. We take pride in preparing everything healthy and fresh. Our cheese is hormone-free and all of our meals are chemical and preservative-free. We use real skirt steak, not sirloin or round steak, but the inside skirt steak, the real Mexican way. We'd love to give you a tour of our kitchen. For the freshest meals made from food with integrity, come see us at Tamales Mexican Restaurant.
You're watching Strike TV Video Country. Call your local cable and satellite TV provider and ask about Strike TV.
Nestled on 2 acres between Waco and McGregor stands the 5J Dance Hall. Enter through its doors to find a reinvented establishment with a dedication to tradition, a flair for nostalgia, and an unsurpassed love of country music. The 5J's over 2,000 square foot original hardwood dance floor combined with true country music, a full service bar, and a generous helping of Southern hospitality await you all. Come see us and make some memories at the 5J.
Hey y'all, it's Wendy with Drive Across Texas, and Brian and I drove across Texas to McGregor, and we were walking around and wanted to know a little bit more about the history, and I came upon Andrew Smith, who works for the Chamber and the Economic Development. So I thought I'd ask and see, tell us why people should come to McGregor.
So McGregor was founded in 1882 as a railroad town, and a big part in World War II as an ordnance plant. We had over 10,000 people at that time. Now we're located in the southwest corner of McLennan County. We have a population of about 5,000. We are growing as Waco kind of continues to grow, but we still have that small town appeal. Lots of people are friendly, and the school district's great, and it's still surrounded by ag, so it keeps that small town feel.
There you have it, folks. That's why you should drive across Texas to McGregor, Texas, and give them a visit. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all, it's Wendy Johnson with Drive Across Texas, and I'm here in McGregor, Texas, at the 5J Dance Hall. And I have a new friend, Miss Emily Roberts. Hi. She is one of the owners here at 5J, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this great establishment that they have here. I'm telling y'all, here at Drive Across Texas, we love Texas history, and they are Texas history in the making. I love it.
The building, as you can see, is an older building. It was built in the 1950s, and originally it was a skating rink. And so we have tons of customers that come in and say, oh, I skated here back, on my 5th birthday back in 1970. Yeah, so there's a lot of history already here. Yeah. And one of the things when we purchased the building that we were really looking for is some history and some character in the building. So we have the actual same original floors that the kiddos skated on. Nice. So of course we sanded down the dance floor to make it good and smooth, but other than that, everything is just completely original. Of course, we've come in and added some old wood on the walls and kind of the nostalgic look of the older dance hall feel, but overall it's pretty original. So we wanted to just keep that feel because we want people to walk in and just feel that dance hall, cozy, a lot of wood, not a very new modern look, but more of a historical preserved dance hall style.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Here in Texas, we have a lot of those old dance halls, but they had to start somewhere, right?
Right.
So you guys are 2019.
We are babies in this, Wendy.
In 100 years, this is going to be one of those
It's going to be historical. We'll have the plaque and everything outside.
That's right.
But Waco we weren't blessed with one of those older dance halls. And so that's really what I was wanting to do for this area is, we have bars and clubs and places to go dance, but my husband and I like to dance, and we would go down to South Texas to, Copeland or Green or Lukenbach, and there was just nothing in this area that felt like that. And so, as you know, you can't recreate history. I mean, you can't duplicate Green Hall, but we wanted something that was more of that style, more of that, kind of just demographic with the more traditional country music. And so we found this place about a year ago. It took us 6 months to renovate. It was a labor of love, but we did it and we're done and we love it. And the people around Central Texas are just, they're really enjoying it. We hear positive feedback every weekend, so.
So Emily, you guys are here in the city of McGregor.
Right.
How did they feel about that? Were they excited?
They were. There's nothing like this in McGregor. We were the first of its kind, and we, approached McGregor in the sense that we want to bring this to your town. We want to bring a quaint dance hall environment to your city, and it's been such a win-win because we fill up their hotels every weekend, the restaurants, and it's just been a good team effort. And the city of McGregor has just been amazing to work with. When we were first building, they were so helpful, and the guys were just, just so accommodating and very helpful. And matter of fact, the code guy here in McGregor, he helped us design part of it. So it's just been a very nice team effort that we truly appreciate from the city of McGregor.
That is awesome. That's a great relationship to have.
It is. I felt like, what is it? You get more flies with honey than vinegar? So I thought, let's be friends with these people.
That's right. I know some honeybees.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. And you guys bring a lot of big acts in.
We do.
A lot of good dance music.
We have. We opened up with Dale Watson. He sold us out.
Oh, yeah.
And then our next big act after Dale was Eddie Raven. Sold us out. Last month, or actually September, we had Johnny Rodriguez, Johnny Lee, sold us out. And tonight, my favorite, the Bellamy Brothers, we're sold out. So I feel like we're on a roll here with kind of more of that 80s country, and we're gonna just keep doing it more next year and booking big acts, and we're filling it up. So I feel like we're doing something right.
Right, well, you hear it, folks, right here, McGregor, Texas. It's gonna be historic and not too long. So you wanna come see it and see, they really do. It's a cool setup. The dance floor is beautiful. It's a nice big dance floor. You're not gonna be dancing like this. You've got lots of space, spin your lady around, so you're gonna have fun.
Actually, over 2,000 square feet.
That's nice.
Yeah, when we first opened, it was probably around 1,600, and we started to get people coming in more and more. We have a lot of like hardcore dancers. I mean, they come in, they're all about the dance, and they ask, where's your dance wax? They want to go. I mean, they wanted to feel a certain way, and so we expanded early on. Like probably month 2, we had to go ahead and add 400 more square feet, take the tables away, and create more of a dance floor space. So
I'm excited to see the dancers too.
It's really fun. The dancer, we've got some awesome, and we do dance lessons.
Oh,
so
nice.
We're open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday every week. And so Thursday nights we do. We have a couple that comes. They're more professional type dancers, and they teach a class every week. Usually about 25 to 30 participants. It's growing, and so we're excited. But it's so fun to watch these couples come out on a Thursday night and be a little rusty, and then a few dance lessons later they come back on the weekends and they're just looking like they know what they're doing. Yeah, so it's fun. But no, it's been it's definitely grown, and we're seeing a lot of good feedback with people saying, hey, we miss this more traditional style dance hall feel and this older music, and we play a little bit of some new, like New George Strait or maybe some Midland, but overall we're classic country. So
I like that.
It's working for us.
And you guys, like, we're standing in the beer and wine bar right now, but you also got liquor as well.
We do. We have the beer and wine bar is where we are, and then across the way we have a full service bar. So,
nice.
And tonight we'll add a couple of beer tubs because it'll be crazy. Packed. Yeah.
That's what happens when you bring the Bellamy Brothers to town.
Hey, I mean, I think I've seen them 40 plus times, so to book them at my own venue is kind of surreal.
I'm excited.
So, kind of nervous, but
I'm excited. I haven't seen them live in a while, so I'm really excited, to see them again.
They're to me, they make it look effortless. They get up there and it's just amazing every single time.
Yeah. So. I'm a traditional country kind of girl.
Me too.
So,
I knew I liked you, Wendy.
I know, I got a new friend. Okay, so if people want to look you guys up, y'all have a website?
We do. We have 3 ways you can look us up. Of course, Facebook, 5J Dance Hall. We have a website, 5jdancehall.com, and then our Instagram. So we're pretty heavy presence on social media.
Nice. So there you have it, folks. Check them out. And I'm telling y'all, McGregor, Texas, come meet Emily, come see everybody here, see the dance hall. It's definitely worth your drive across Texas.
Yes, ma'am. Come see us.
There you go. Bye, y'all.
Bye.